Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm Gale Kilgore from Big Spring, Texas. Well, I don't actually live in Big Spring, Texas. We live in Sand Springs. Can you imagine how it was back then when they come into this country and they said, well, is the spring running water? I said, no, it's running sand. That ain't gonna do no good. Well, see, they have these camels that they'd come in here with the camels that have to bring the water, but they didn't have no barrels. And there wasn't but about one way to get that water out of that camel. So you got to be pretty thirsty before you can reach up there and kind of take a sip of that camel whiz. But you know, the height of a camel made it just right for taking showers. You know, that's one good thing about the camel. They had trouble getting them camels to they just wouldn't get them full of water. This guy said, I can't get my camel full of water enough to make it go far enough. And Abdul said, well, let me show you. Abdul made fun of the way I talked, and he talked like this. Abdul said, let me show you. And he said, this old camel's over getting him some water. And he walked up behind that camel with these two bricks. And he hit the family jewels of that camel. And that camel, I'm telling you, that camel was full of water. He said, now that's how you get a camel full of water. And he said, well, Abdul, don't that hurt? He said, well, you got to keep your thumbs out from between them bricks, you know. And then, the societies have different groups. Like we got rednecks. You got rednecks that they go to family reunions to meet women, you know. But over in other cultures, like they got sand necks over there where all that sand is. Them sand necks, they go to family reunions to meet camels. You know, it's just different culture. And over in Australia, the donk necks, they'll go to family reunions to meet kangaroos. And this guy was telling me, I met some Australians one time when I was overseas. They'd flying them helicopters and stuff. And they're nice people. They're real easygoing. And one of them, you know, when you get a bunch of guys together, good old boys, talking about the world and stuff, always comes down, somebody going to have to say, well, listen, I want to say something about sex. Anyway, this guy said that the first time that he had sex, his daddy took him to the place where they done things, a brothel or something like that. Anyway, he was there, and so they was all getting ready, and they got up in the room, and she went in yonder and said, I'll be back, and I'll get ready, and I'll be back. So when she came back, all the furniture was moved all over in the corner there, everything. And she said, well, what's the deal on that? And he said, well, it's my first time with a woman. If it's anything like a kangaroo, we're going to need all the room we can get. And you know, there's another thing you can figure on is these rednecks, they'll be driving around you like in a pickup, and they'll say, they said, here, Bubba, hold my beer, now watch this. Well, old Abdul, he'd be riding on that camel, and he'd say, here, hold my goat's milk, now watch this. They're all the same. They're all a certain group of people in different societies. Another thing you can figure on is if a redneck kind of, if somebody comes up and said, this is my court-appointed attorney, well, the chances are he's a redneck, you know what I mean? And then if you're like a sand neck, most everybody in his cave will be able to play the banjo pretty good. And then a sand neck will have he'll have his front of his cave there, the big rocks, painted white. You know what I mean? And if he's ever traveled to the United States, he may have seen some people's homes with tires buried in the ground, painted white, to have a little perimeter curving there, you know. Just different people do different things.